I typically won't. I'll put a goal out there maybe, but internally my goal is even more, even bigger, even higher, even more accomplished than I would even share sometimes. And that, like you said, that comes from an inner competitiveness and an inner desire to like prove to myself that I am more than what others could see or what I even believe.
Yeah. Welcome to the Growth Drivers Podcast, the show where we break down the leadership frameworks, mindset shifts, and strategies that fuel entrepreneurial success, personal transformation, and business breakthroughs.
I'm Rachael Novak.
And I'm Mike Novak.
Let's dive in and start driving your growth. Welcome back to another episode of Growth Drivers. Today we're going to discuss how to manufacture momentum. There's a lot of times people will lose momentum because of a lack of activity, a lack of focus, or, distractions. And a lot of people really struggle like manufacturing and getting momentum back. So we're going to run you through 8 specific things that you can do to really manufacture momentum and figure out how you can continue to win and build and stack wins. So
yeah, and everyone wants momentum, right? Like that, having that wind at your back is huge. But a lot of people get that momentum and then they lose that momentum. And so we want to give you some tactical ideas on how to actually keep that moving or regain it, or start it too if you just don't have any momentum to even go with. But most people are really good when they have momentum and they struggle climbing up to that kind of, just that level where things are actually flowing.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think everybody wants to get to that point, but how do you get to that point, right? Like we can spend so much time kind of commiserating and saying, oh, if I could just catch a win, catch a break, get back to that momentum, that pace. So here's how we do that. Okay. Number 1, how to manufacture momentum. You have to start with a win that you can control. So choosing small little things every single day, keeping the promises that you make to yourself every single day, honoring your time blocks. Momentum starts by stacking the controllable wins. So you can't wait for motivation in your day. You have to set up your schedule for executing wins. It's executing on the small, measurable actions. It's getting up at a certain time that you said you were going to. It is going to the gym and doing the workout and training your body how you said you were going to. It's showing up to the office or showing up to your home office, making the damn calls that you said that you were going to. All of these little things, just stacking those W's every single day, that is going to be a great starting point with how to manufacture momentum.
So keeping your word with yourself is what I'm hearing you say.
Exactly. Yeah. Because what this says is that's going to reinforce in your brain and physiologically every single day. Okay, I can do the things I'm supposed to do. I can do the things I tell myself. And it's going to build confidence right along with the obviously activities that are going to start generating some of that momentum as well.
Yep. Action.
Exactly. Number 2, momentum follows movement, not perfection. Mm-hmm. We talk a lot about, how done is better than perfect. And while planning and preparation is a necessary part of, creating wins and gaining traction, if you're not actually taking the action and doing the movement and you're focusing on what I need to do perfectly first, you're never going to be able to catch that momentum again. People get stuck waiting for clarity, or they're waiting for the confidence to do something. But that confidence and that clarity comes from movement. It comes from action. So, one of our core values on our team is execution over perfection. Take imperfect action, then course correct in the midst of it, then keep going. Because every single growth spurt that you're going to go on starts this way, right? You have to get into action first to start creating that momentum.
This is the old analysis by paralysis kind of saying that you hear people a lot, where they're just stuck analyzing things and so they don't actually ever do anything.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Number 3. and how to manufacture momentum. I love this one. I've talked a lot about this. My Wartime CEO Mastermind talks a lot about this, and that is stacking habits that reinforce your identity. Now, I could sit there and say, like, I believe that I'm somebody of high integrity. I believe that I'm somebody who does the job and does it well. I believe that I'm somebody who's organized. But unless I am doing the thing and acting and becoming the kind of person that does those things, I'm not reinforcing the identity that I'm trying to tell myself. It's the daily disciplines, is the daily activities that you do that reinforce who you already are, right? So if you let yourself off, if you break a promise to yourself, don't fulfill a time block, don't honor a commitment, or even a tiny bit out of integrity with what you said you were going to do, that is not going to reinforce your identity, and therefore it's not going to help you manufacture more momentum in that area. So, sticking to those daily disciplines, like we prep our meals, we go to the gym, we make the phone calls, we, stack, we connect with our team, we connect with our clients. These are all things that you have to really anchor your identity in and then execute on a daily basis. So stacking habits that reinforce your identity.
Yeah, discipline is one of those things that compounds either way. Like it can either compound it into negative energy where you're not doing the thing, or it can compound it into positive energy where you are doing the thing.
Exactly. Number 4, create visible scoreboards and feedback loops. And when I think about this, I think about accountability, right? I think about in the bodybuilding, in our body domain, Mike and I each have a coach that provides us that feedback loop, right? And every time we have to check in, I have to say, what percentage did I follow the plan since my last check-in? During off season, it was 95 to 97%, sometimes 100%. And during this prep, it's been 100%. So I have a visible scoreboard. I'm keeping score of exactly what I need to be doing every single day. It's a metric of by design, right? To keep me in that momentum. And as I continue to build every single week, stacking those wins, it continues to build that momentum. And so every time I'm checking in, my coach provides me that feedback loop. Feedback loops can also be in the form of client feedback. It can be in the form of teammate feedback or team leader feedback. Like, what kind of feedback are you getting? Are you open and receptive to it? Because those feedback loops and those visible scoreboards where you're utilizing the metrics are going to encourage you to continue on that path, which is going to, again, create that momentum you're looking for.
What I've seen is that top producers and champions, they want to always know where they stand. You know what I mean? And the scoreboard gives you that.
That's exactly right. That definitely is going to build some forward motion, having a scoreboard, having metrics, tracking them, and then, of course, providing feedback loops for yourself as well. Number 5, time block aggression. I love this. Short bursts, high intensity. When we first started in the business, got back into the business 8-9 years ago, our time blocks were pretty long and they weren't super specific, right? We knew that we had a power hour, we knew how to work on business building, and we were still figuring a lot of things out. And then as we've refined them over the years, we have noticed that I personally get way more done if I have a 45-minute time block to knock something out. I'm going to accomplish everything that I need to in that short burst. Whereas if I put a 3-hour time block, I will probably check email in between and get distracted with something with social media or something else. So if you are really committed to this momentum and manufacturing this momentum and know what projects, what things that drive revenue, shorten your time blocks and make them incredibly aggressive, right? Short bursts, high intensity, 30-minute, 45-minute work sprints. Even this prep, in the body domain, having a 16-week, that's a pretty long burst, but it's high intensity. In the scheme of our lives, it's not very long, I suppose. But having, committing to a diet plan for 12 weeks, right? A short burst, you're committing to that intensity, committing to a specific schedule at work. Hey, for this month, I'm going to be in the office every single day. I'm going to spend the first 45 minutes, 8:30 to 9:15, prospecting new leads every single day. Like these kinds of short bursts, high intensity time blocks are going to help you manufacture that momentum because you are pushing in such a small enough window. Like you could literally build a business in 3 to 4 hours a day. Like you don't need to be a full-time job to do that.
Yeah, there's that law. I can't remember what it is, that the time expands to fill the amount of space you've given it, basically.
Yes.
So you can get done. If you give yourself a 30-minute time limit, most people get done in that 30 minutes, the same thing they would have gotten done if they give themselves 90 minutes.
That's exactly right. Yep, exactly. Yeah, momentum loves that time-bound intensity, right?
Yeah,
like if you
compression
can,
of time.
yeah, if you can compress that time, you're going to get more momentum out of that moment and not spend all day planning and have it be just this endless like loop where nothing actually gets closed, right? Nothing actually gets accomplished. So, great point. Number 6, surround yourself with people in motion. This is very important. I think we know, and if you're listening to this, you know that getting into the right rooms, being in the right environment with other people, other high performers, other people who are going in the direction that you want to go is incredibly important because energy is contagious. So, masterminds, your team, training partners, role play partners, like these will absolutely either stall your progress or they're going to spark you into action and momentum. And you manufacture this momentum by borrowing the belief from these other high performers. So it's kind of like the Eric Hatch used to use the donkeys and the racehorses analogy, right? Where if you put a racehorse, like a thoroughbred, incredible racehorse, in a barn full of donkeys, and you let them just chill there, they are eventually going to slow down. Their pace is going to start matching those donkeys, even though they're bred for so much more, right? And conversely, if you put a donkey into a barn with a bunch of racehorses, and they are focused and they are fast and they are well fed and they are well trained, that donkey's performance is going to improve, right?
Got a race donkey.
Yeah, you got a race donkey all of a sudden. So humans are the exact same, right? We've got to borrow belief from people around us. We have to get into rooms. We have to get onto teams. We have to get around people who are doing things, who are in motion, who have momentum, so that we can borrow that belief and continue to move forward, creating our own momentum.
This would also be really relevant to your inner circle of friends as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to expand on that at all?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, obviously, who you surround yourself with is the direction you're going to go, right? Whether that brings you up or down. So
yeah,
having a tribe of people that are heading in the same direction you are, where you're not dragging them along, that would be super important.
Yeah, completely agreed. Mm-hmm. All right, number 7, declare publicly, then deliver privately. This is so key. I think a lot of people will put out there, oh, this is my goal. This is what I want to accomplish. And then they don't really follow up on it, right? But if you can say it out loud, if you can set that goal, if you can share it, if you can post it, if you can remind yourself of it constantly, then turn internal, go private, do the gritty, deep work to get that done, you're going to manufacture the momentum when that external commitment lights that internal fire. You have to follow that external commitment with an internal drive, right? You can't declare something and then just expect it to happen if you're not taking action and internalizing what you should be doing.
What do you think about those people that just kind of come out of nowhere? Like they didn't publicly declare anything. They just got to work.
I think that personally, that's more like what we resonate with, right? Mm-hmm. Like I typically won't, I'll put a goal out there maybe, but internally my goal is even more, even bigger, even higher, even more accomplished than I would even share sometimes. And that, like you said, that comes from an inner competitiveness and an inner desire to like prove to myself that I am more than what others could see or what I even believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yes, declare publicly, or don't declare at all and just deliver privately.
Just get to work.
Yes, get to work. Exactly. And number 8 in how to manufacture momentum, anchor to vision. not emotion. This is so important because momentum can be made or broken if you give in to the fleeting feelings that you experience day to day, right? If you wake up in the morning and you're like, man, I feel so tired. I'm going to skip the gym today. Oh man, I am not in a great mood. I'm not in a good headspace. I'm going to skip making my calls today. Oof, man, I'm not, chicken and rice doesn't sound good. So I'm just going to have pizza today. Like, you're letting a temporary emotion dictate the momentum of your goal.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really want to accomplish something, if you really want to manufacture momentum and maintain momentum, you have to remember what the goal is, which kind of ties back into having those short bursts of intensity, right? Like setting that goal 12 weeks out or 6 weeks out or whatever it is. You've got to anchor it to the vision and the goal of what you're trying to accomplish and not anchor it to how you're feeling day to day.
Right. What about leveraging emotion to drive action and results?
Do you mean negative emotion?
Any kind of emotion. I mean, emotion's one of the most powerful tools there is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to an Andy Frisella podcast, Real AF, months and months and months ago. And he talked a lot about how negative emotions are so powerful. I took a lot from that podcast. But, when we're experiencing negative emotions, when we're experiencing things like doubt and, not being sure of ourselves and second guessing our activities and, that voice in the back of your head that creeps in and tells you that you're not worthy or tells you that you can't do it. You can absolutely choose to listen to those things and feel those things and act on those things, but to really manufacture momentum and to really overcome and accomplish something great, you can use those as fuel, rocket fuel, to accomplish the things. Right?
Yeah, the people that I've seen that get the most done are the people that kind of get pissed off.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And people think that they need to actually withhold that feeling and suppress it, but instead containing it and leveraging it and understanding it is a much more powerful dynamic.
That's such a good point. And I want to point out two different words because you use the word suppress it, right? Which is shoving it back down, trying to pretend that it's not there.
Well, it's because people say, hey, why are you pissed off? It's like a bad thing, right? It's actually really good that you're mad.
Yeah.
Let's figure out why you're mad and let's figure out how to take that rage or that irritation and then turn that into something positive, which is usually going to be drive.
Yes, exactly. So instead of suppressing it, we control it, right? Big difference. If you're controlling that emotion, you're letting yourself feel it and experience it, and then you're turning it into that drive, into that fuel. It's going to help you even more manufacture that momentum in whatever area that you're choosing to apply it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 3-step process. It's controlling it, it's redirecting it, then it's leveraging it.
Yeah, love that.
The redirection is the critical part.
Love that. Absolutely. Well, that's what we got, guys. 8 steps on how to manufacture momentum. So today, if you're not feeling like you've got momentum, if you're feeling like you're kind of stuck, if you things aren't clicking right now, start with a win you control. Start with something today that you can absolutely have 100% control over. Go get it done. Go stack that W. And remember that momentum follows movement, not perfection. So all of your planning, all of your preparation can go by the wayside. Just get into action today in whatever domain you are really trying to accomplish something.
Yeah, and if you're one of those people that has momentum, you need to do a major self-assessment and put in place some kind of controls to make sure that you don't become complacent and lose that momentum, because that's the most powerful thing you have, and riding that is really, really important.
That's, it's so true. Like that, we talk a lot about that because a lot of people will experience momentum and then believe that they can let their foot off the gas.
Well, they'll stop doing what got them that momentum.
Yeah.
Especially real estate agents.
Yes,
real estate agents
exactly.
are, how many agents do you know that sell 5 houses and they sell none the next month because they stop calling people?
That's exactly right. Yes. It's when you have that momentum, movement and momentum breeds more movement and momentum. So if you stop doing the activities that got you that momentum in the first place, guess what? It's going to go away. Great point. Love that, Michael. All right.
Cool. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
See you then. That's a wrap on today's episode of Growth Drivers.
If you found value in this conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with a fellow entrepreneur.
For more insights, tools, and resources, visit us at thewarrioragent.com.
Keep pushing forward, keep leading with purpose, and we'll see you next time.